When we assess India's development post-independence, we can see that India has been fit for purpose at every stage of its development. In some cases, outstripping the multilateral institutions in terms of its commitment and its understanding of a rules-based system. Small countries like Guyana would have benefited immensely from India's growth trajectory, because India has always been an economy that focused on human development, putting human ahead of any other form of development. When we were faced with the COVID pandemic, it was a time of unknown for politicians across the globe. And I can recall us having meetings with the Minister of Health, and he would often refer to literature coming out of India. And I can see people thinking, well, what are we doing? And he was very focused. I myself began reading literature coming out of India in terms of their advancement, and I must commend India and the government for the transparency within which they operated in terms of bringing the message of their progress to the rest of the world. And we were very sure and certain that we were going to take vaccines coming out of India, AstraZeneca. We were very gung-ho on that, and we made that decision very early. And when you look at the commitment that India would have made to the rest of the world, in the case of Guyana, and the attention to detail that the office representing the government of India in Guyana, the High Commission and staff, warm, friendly, provided hope for the people of Guyana, and the delivery was made good. The promise was made good. And it is very touching, because this is a country that is not just the 5th largest economy in the world, but is the largest economy in terms of its heart, its compassion, its humility, its respect for humanity, and putting lives ahead of profits. And that is what is important for us as a global population. So when you look at the multilateralism and why multilateralism was established, it was really to create peace, stability, and prosperity. And if you look at India's model, and by the way, India has to take care of 1.3 billion people in a democracy with smooth transitions. Can you imagine having to take care of 1.3 billion people and still having the time at the policy level to say, let us look to see what we can do for the rest of the world, when multilateral institutions should be doing that? So I will dare say that India is a multilateral institution in its own right. In its own right. When you think about their commitment to humanity, and you think about their progress, and not only the promise, but the commitments that they make, they're all in line with a rules-based system. So the leadership that India is providing, the commitment to leaving no one behind, is aligned with all of the principles, global principles. So India, obviously, is providing leadership at the global governance level, and that is commendable for one country, 75 years old. Think about it. In our lifetime, we have industrialized economies that were never colonized, some who were colonized centuries old in terms of their post-independence, but you don't get the same attitude and commitment and conviction as you can get from India. And when you think about the pandemic and how India managed its public policy and health, it's astonishing. We borrowed from that, and we were able to also keep our economies going, to ensure that we provided hope, and obviously using a lot of the literature coming out of India, because we don't have the capacity. So the donation of 500,000 vaccines to the Caribbean, of which Guyana got 80,000, it's 10% of our population. Maybe it may seem small in number, but it made a big impact in terms of our public health. So on behalf of His Excellency the President, Dr. Muhammad Irfan Ali, and the people of Guyana, Excellency, I want to thank you and the government and people of India for your generosity and your commitment to service, not only to the people of India, but to humanity as a whole. Thank you very much.